Hello, 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 beautiful people. Happy hump day. How is everybody? How are
All
you
right.
guys? We got,
Hey everyone, what's going on?
What's going
I'm in
on,
sunny
everybody?
Tampa, Florida right now
You're in
for a
Tampa?
conference. I am.
I
I thought
thought you
you.
looked tan.
Well, I am a little tan, but it's not because of the sun I've been in. Um, it's because I've been tanning, so I don't look like a dork out here.
I love that. It looks good. It looks good on you. I like it,
Oh,
man.
thanks.
I thought you in another one of your rentals in like St. Louis.
I know, I did too.
I'm in a hotel room, a cheap one too.
Let me know if you
Like
find
I
any
was
any
in this nice
horrible.
hotel up until yesterday, and then I extended it a day so that we could do this. And I'm just like, what's the cheapest hotel that's close to the airport? And this is where I'm at.
Let me know if you find any ugly properties. I could sell them for you.
I'm in one right now.
Let's go. See if they want to sell. I
It's
got a
an
I got a
extended
buyer
stay
for
America.
motels and hotels.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you all for being here today. We have Mr. John Galan, as you all know him, and Benson as well. We just wanted to start this new stream to help you guys find hot deals, to know what's hot, what's not. We're going to jump around like a bunch of different markets, and we are going to give you guys the opportunity to come up here with us and, coach you through some calls or role play with you. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Benson, I'm going to let you open it up. And we can get into Privy and how awesome it is for finding hot deals. What do you think of that?
I'm excited. Yeah, this is really cool. This is actually one of the first times I've been on where Jamil hasn't been with us,
I
but
know.
that's totally okay. Um, but we've got the famous and brilliant John Galan with us, which is increasingly becoming one of the thought leaders in the space. So, John, thank you for being here, buddy.
I appreciate you guys having me. I mean, I always love coming on with you too and just chopping it up and being able to help the community in any possible way I can.
Awesome. Well, you guys, today we're going to do a couple different things, but one of the things that we haven't had a chance to do much in our live calls is really kind of just break down like the A to Z of how to find one of the best markets to target. Also, like how to get your local market intelligence so you feel confident in your numbers, so you feel confident taking action, and also how to execute in those markets. And so we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that today so that you can actually find some opportunities. And then John's going to get in and we're going to actually start looking at some deals, and we're going to do some role play. John happens to be one of the best callers in the business, and I've seen him do it many times, and it's always impressive. And fortunately he was able to jump on tonight, so appreciate you being here. But I would love to check with the group to see where you guys are at. I do see a few people saying where they're at, but will you drop in? Just let us know where you're at, because I want to make this relevant for you. Even though we are going to look at investor activity, we do want to overlap with like investor activity with what's going on in the chat. And this is actually a lesson for yourselves as well, as like, don't just look where you live. Like, look for deals where the investor activity overlaps with where you live potentially, but also where the opportunities at and where you can pull all of the other key components of putting deals together. So we've got places like we got St. Louis, which is a market that I targeted, Dallas, South Florida, Seattle, DMV, which we got Colorado Springs, Tennessee, lots of good markets here, Florida, Connecticut.
We're all over the map.
Don't look in
All over.
Connecticut. Jacksonville, Wisconsin, that's a big one, Wisconsin. Dan, you got to figure out which city you like. Um, Chicago, Salt Lake City, Facebook user, Maryland. Figure out which part of Maryland you want to be in. Don't just choose states. States is not going to get you where you want to be. And that's part of what we're going to learn about today, you guys, is that regions even within states aren't good. Like you're looking for neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like you could be one neighborhood over from a market that has high investor activity, and one neighborhood over will suck.
Yep.
And all of the time and effort and everything you're putting into it just won't give you the same return on that investment. So be very strategic about where you're going to be looking. And what I will tell you is that you have more control over the outcomes in your business than you think you do. Be very intentional about where you're looking. So John, you guys like Tampa, right?
I mean, we now like all of Central Florida. So like Tampa, St. Petersburg, I mean Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, because now we're able to go by county. We started off in just like Tampa and St. Pete, but now we're like Pinellas, Hillsborough, Polk County, Marion County, pretty much Central Florida, the whole of Central Florida from coast to coast, from Pinellas all the way out to Volusia. We have buyers for, and we look for deals all around there, and we even have buyers in like the rural parts, like Lake City, places nobody's ever even heard of. And Privy's got some properties there as well.
So what was it about Middle Florida that was attracting for you?
When I first started, I was actually in Jersey for a little bit, and I just wasn't crazy about the market. And the biggest thing I didn't like about it was at that point there wasn't a Keegley there, and when I was new, like I had no buyers, right? So I wanted to switch my market. And honestly, as weird as it's going to sound, like my gut kept saying Florida, 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 Florida. So it was a lot of like a gut and like intuition feeling to go to Florida. But I also knew there was a Keegley there, and I had a really good relationship with Denise, who was Denise Abreu, who was working acquisitions for Keegley, Florida there. And I knew like eventually I'm going to want to own properties in Florida. So I went there. And so like when I choose markets, I always like to see, obviously on Privy to see if there's a lot of investor activity by looking at those blue bubbles, which Benson will show you the blue bubbles. I see if there is a Keegley there, because Keegley is a large company that does so much market research and spends all that money on market research. So why would I reinvent the wheel and do it again myself? So I look for Privy and I look for Keegley. And if those two things are there, I'll probably choose that market or wholesale. I'll also see, like, do I eventually maybe want to own property in that market? Because when you wholesale there, if you do it correctly and well, you'll know that market like the back of your hand. Like I know Florida better than I know Staten Island, where I grew up for like 20 years. You know what I mean? I can't even get her. I need a GPS still when I drive around Staten Island. I could probably drive around Tampa.
You know Florida better than people that live there.
Right, because I'm constantly looking at different addresses there. I'm constantly like looking at market research and knowing the good and the bad zip codes. Like you get so granular on your market, you know good and bad zip codes. That's how much you want to know your market.
Oh yeah, it's the difference between you making and losing money. And this also, to you guys, if you're scared and looking in other markets that aren't where you live, that's the key. Is that John was able to go and do stuff in a market that he had never been to. I was able to go and start doing deals in St. Louis by just looking at the data. And honestly, within a really short period of time, like shorter than any time in history, you can become a local market expert and actually feel comfortable writing offers and taking action, because you can see what a deal is. And this is something that you just are unable to learn from, really good coaches and mentors out there. Like Jamil is one of the best in the world, but he does not have his finger on the pulse of the whole entire US, and nor should he, because he's focusing on always delivering you guys high value in coaching and mentorship and the courses and what astro flipping does for you. But if he was in the weeds looking at deals, he wouldn't be able to deliver up here. So that's where we come in. We are able to deliver you that local market deal education. It's an adjunct to what the astro flipping program teaches you. And then you can implement that on a local level, which is the difference between you succeeding and burning out in 3 or 4 months. Okay. So John was just talking about investor activity, the blue bubbles. Right now, before I get into that, real quickly, what you're seeing on the map right here, there's some blue, but these aren't the blue bubbles he was referring to. This is our coverage map. This tells you where our data comes from. We have nationwide county record data, owner information, mortgage information. We've got off-market leads like foreclosures and absentee owners and vacancies and tired landlords and senior owners, all stuff where you might be able to level in, different levels of motivation for people who want to sell properties. But the blue is really where we separate the boys from the men. Okay. And that is the direct to MLS data. And that isn't to say that you have to always to do on-market deals. It's to say that if you're going to run comps and you're going to analyze properties and you're going to track investment activity, you want the best data that's available. And if you're looking at a market like Wyoming, where it's just gray, you're going to have a hard time getting the best data that's available. Plus, there's not a bunch of investor activity there. And so instead of banging your head against the wall someplace like here, just choose an area that has better data. The next thing is investor activity. So if you click this button here at the top, this is going to plot on the map where all the investor activity is nationwide. And this is going to help you to find out where there are people that are investing tens of thousands of dollars to try to find out which markets to invest. And really all they got to do is just log into Privy, and they can see where they see big blue bubbles is where you should be investing. So we try to make this really kind of intuitive, right? It's not some spreadsheet or like a bar graph or like a line going up and to the right, and you got to figure out like how to use that in your business. I know that probably most of us are newer. So we want you to be able to look at a map and be like, oh yeah, look at that big blue circle. Like that's where I should invest. And it is really that simple. Like the data and the analytics behind it are complicated, but we don't push that complicatedness forward to you. We just be like, go to where the blue bubbles are at. One of the markets that I really like that has high investor activity is where Emily is, right here in Indianapolis. Check that number out. Over 2,200 deals have been done there in the last 12 months. Look at Cleveland, 2,000 plus deals. Chicago, that's almost double the amount of deals that can be done in the Chicago market. Pittsburgh, kind of a middle of the road market, still a generous and decent amount of investor activity. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia actually crosses over into southern Jersey as well because this bubble is big. That's a really hot area. And as you start to come down the coast here, somebody earlier said they were in Maryland. Like there are very specific areas of Maryland you want to target. It's going to be mostly Baltimore County within the kind of the Beltway, and also Prince George's County, just outside of DC. It was funny the other day. I was talking to somebody who lived in Maryland, and I was telling him like these different District Heights, Hyattsville, all these things, and he's like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I've got Privy." He's like, "You've never been to Maryland? You've never been to Baltimore?" I'm like, "No, I've never been there. I just look at the data." And he was blown away. And he was an active investor that's been in the business for a long time. And he's like, "I've never seen such a thing before." And this is what I was teasing earlier about John knowing Tampa better than other people who live there and are doing deals in that market is when you've got this level of data at your fingertips, you guys, it elevates you. You become an expert in that market shorter than ever before in history. And this will be what is going to help you feel confident in your numbers, in understanding what a deal is, what people are buying properties for, what they're selling them for, how much money they're making. All that information is going to help you feel really good about the numbers. And then when a deal presents itself to you, you'll know what the value is as is, and then after repair value, and then you'll want to go write an offer. That's the power of Privy. So one of the other hot markets is Atlanta. So I think I saw somebody in there say Atlanta. So let's just dig in here a bit. And so when you get in a little bit closer, these clusters, they break up and then they get smaller clusters and you get more clarity about where specifically in Atlanta you'd want to look for deals. So if I was in Atlanta and I was going to drive for dollars, which I don't do these days anymore, but some people do, like you want to make sure you're over here in West and Southwest Atlanta, not over here in Mountain Park or Mountain Cove or Centerville. Like that wouldn't be a good investment of your time. And you guys are probably not doing this full time. So every minute you spend on your business is crucial, that you're not just blowing it over here in areas where you're going to have a hard time making the deals work. So we can come down in here, and if we go to this number here that has the 23, this is the highest investor activity area. And over here, we can see it now here on the map where those deals are at. So we can see all of these here. And this right here, this one on Edgewater, is an example of a closed deal. So John, let's look at this deal together.
Yep.
It's sold for 385 grand, nice ranch, 3.2. This one comes directly from the MLS. We know that data's here, so we can see the photos. You don't get those photos if you're in a third-party area or if you're using, some competitor that all have good products, but it's what's more difficult to understand what's going on there. The algorithm automatically pulls comps for you. So one of the things you guys have to learn when you're coming up in the business is actually how to determine the value of a house. They call that pulling comparables or comping. And when you comp, you will be able to understand what the value is, because you're going to compare your house that you don't know what it's worth, that's a 3.2, 1,600 square feet, to another house that's a 3.2 or similar number of bedrooms and bathrooms and square feet. And so that algorithm does it for you. So you don't have to be a comping expert. And then we show you the before and after data. So John, this house was purchased for 26% of the ARV. Is that good?
That's gonna be tough. You're gonna have to lock that thing up very low if you find the property around there for that buyer buying at 26%. But also, it says it was direct. You see how it says public records? Shows it as direct. Yeah. So what I've noticed too, like when I do market research, is a lot of the times, not always, but when a property was sold direct, the ARV percentage is usually slightly lower because you're able to get better discounts when they are going direct to seller without an agent negotiating a price and a sticker price. So like when I do market research, since I'm going a lot of on-market deals, I usually look to see what's my average ARV percentage for the MLS deals to know what's the average percentage that buyers are buying cosmetic rehabs for MLS deals. Because there's like a sometimes like a 8 to 10% variance from like public records and MLS.
There is. And then you guys don't just say, okay, well, that means I need to go for off market because it's a better deal.
Right.
With on market, there's no marketing. So if you can get a property 10% less and it was off market, well, think about, well, what did it cost to get that deal? How long did it take? Did it take 5 months to find that motivated seller who you had to touch 5 to 15 times
right.
and finally get them on the market? And you had to spend money on cold calling and short skip tracing and all those other things. You talk to a lot of investors, John, and I've heard a number, but have they told you what the average cost is of getting a property when they're doing off-market marketing?
I'm not too sure about that. I don't speak to too many people that do like direct to seller, which I'm trying to listen. If you're doing direct to seller in Tampa, send me your deals, or anywhere in Florida, honestly. But so like I don't really know too much of how much they're spending on marketing, but I just know it's a lot more than $97 a month.
It is. So that makes, again, we're making it simple again, but what I'm hearing you guys is anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 to get a deal. So think about what your marketing budget is and what you feel comfortable doing. And these people that are spending $8,000 to $12,000, they've already tweaked, and that's their marketing output now. They're tracking their KPIs. That's what a good marketer can get. If you don't know how to market, or if you're not a good salesperson, or if you're just learning the business, what we're going to show you today is some of the easiest and quickest path to success with very little money out of your pocket. Okay, and that's a great way to get started and learn the local area, learn what a deal is. And then if you at some point you get to a situation where you've got some income coming in from getting low-hanging fruit inside of our system, and you want to do some marketing that's going to cost you that amount of money, then do that. But there's a progression there. I don't think you jump into it right away, because if you make a mistake and you have the wrong color ink on your postcard, then that's a $10,000 mailing campaign that failed. And it literally can be as simple as that. So the flipper on this house was Superior Homes Realty, right? This looks like this was a JV deal with FCS Inclusive and Superior Homes. So these guys like off market. We know they bought at least one off market because we're looking at it. Let's find another one. Here's a property. You scroll down here. This one was purchased off market, but considerably higher, 65% of the ARV for an off market deal. So people are thinking, oh, well, I thought off market had better deals. Well, not always. I mean, John, you're buying enough deals now, like you're getting some of those percentages pretty low. I mean, are you getting stuff lower than 65% of the ARV from the MLS?
Oh yeah, I mean my MAO is 60% for cosmetic.
Well, that's crazy. So 60%. This one is actually was an on market deal. They pulled the photo, but you can see the MLS ID here. They got this at 69% of the ARV. and that was an MLS deal.
Yeah.
So this is a buyer you would love, right?
I love them.
So why would you like working with this buyer?
Because they buy it. I've seen that they bought at 69% and they buy on market. So they buy pretty high, which is great. And they like MLS deals, which is my specialty because I get more on markets than I do off markets. So I know that they'll buy both. If I get an on market, they're a buyer. If I get an off market, they're a buyer.
Right. So the buyer in this one was Sergio Benuelos. So this is where they sold it. This is where they bought it, right? So that's why we call them buyers, because they're buying them from you, via an assignment fee in a wholesale transaction. And then they went and fixed it up and they sold it right over here for $290,000. So we show you the whole thing here, and they actually got this price down eventually to 290.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out. So like if you see that they bought it 12/15/21, but it sold, when did it sell?
1/5/23.
1/5/23. If you just look at that, you might think, oh, this was definitely not a flip. That's too long. But if you go back down to the activity, you notice that they bought it 12/15/21, but they listed it in April, right? They listed that in April. They listed it in April. That's only 4 months. So they actually did flip this property. They just listed way too high, and that's why it took so long to sell. So you wouldn't say, oh, no, this is not a flip property. This is a flip property that was just listed too high because they bought it December 15th and they listed it at the end of April. That's about like 4 or 5 months. So I would consider that would be a flip.
Absolutely.
I don't know too many homeowners that remodel their houses and sell them within 5 months.
No, most don't.
So that's another thing
that
to look
would
at.
be a rarity.
Don't just look at the date that it was purchased and the date that was sold. Look at the transactions, because if it was listed within like a 5-month period, then I would say more often than not, that's a flip.
Yep. And so this is how you learn the real estate side of the business, right? You can learn, great strategies and, the whole systematic approach through astro flipping and what Jamil teaches. But again, what is a deal in Atlanta? This is what we're learning right now, is what a deal is in Atlanta. And a deal in Atlanta is different than a deal in Philadelphia. So we wouldn't use the same offering approach as we would do here in Atlanta as we would in Philadelphia, because it's different. And that literally can be the difference between you get winning deals and not winning deals. So John becomes that local market expert, and suddenly he knows what a deal is, and then he's partnering up what he knows what a deal is with what the buyers want.
Yep.
So John, are you calling buyers directly, or do you call the agents that represented them to build your labs for both?
No, we call the buyers directly.
Okay, so you like talking to the buyers.
Yes. But if we can't find the buyers, so like we have a 2-part approach. So we'll call the buyers, and we'll have, when we do our market research, we do all of our market research, but we also keep track of all the buyers' names. And then we have a list, and then our VA will skip trace that list, get their numbers, and then they'll actually call those buyers. And they're in our CRM. So now the buyers we could not find numbers for or could not get in touch with, we save in another list in our CRM, and then we just have the link to Privy in each of their profiles, and then we'll just call the agent directly that represented that buyer. So then we have that agent's information too. But we always start with calling the buyers first.
Got it. And so why do you do that? Is it just because you can build better rapport with them?
Yeah, because then we'll have these cash buyers that we could build relationships with. Like now we have this one buyer that they'll close in 2 days if title's clear. We have a really, really great relationship with them. So if we have a deal off market and we need a buy price, we'll just tell them, and they'll give us their number first. And so we can lock it up with confidence and no inspection period. We could even send them a property on the MLS that we're about to lock up and confirm a buy price with them if we want to, because we have that relationship with them. So it's always nice to have like good relationships with your buyers and not like having just an agent always send out your deals. So like it's good to have both, don't get me wrong. But I personally just like having the buyer, and then we could talk to them directly. Like, okay, what's your buy box? What are you looking for? And they'll give you some insight as to what they're looking. Because at the end of the day, if you give it to an agent, they're still going to give it to a buyer. So just having that information from that buyer directly is huge.
It is. And actually, buyers use multiple agents, right? So you may even be talking to an agent who has good rapport with that buyer and
right.
really knows what they want. That's awesome. So you call the buyers, you build your buyers list, you know what their buy box is, and then you start looking for deals. So you're getting a lot of your stuff from the MLS, but there's no deals on the MLS, right?
Oh no, there are tons of deals on the MLS.
So tell me a little bit about your guys' success by doing on-market deals. Like, what do those numbers look like?
Yeah. So, and not even just like, so a lot of them are on market, but we do a lot of our own deals where we're direct, but we also help a lot of people sell their deals and they get them from Privy as well. So in the last like 3 months or so, I think we were able to do about a little over 20 deals. And that's a mix of us locking up properties directly from Privy or getting pocket listings from agents we got from a listing on Privy. Or help other people like other wholesalers sell their deals, whether it be on market or off market. So, and that's all from pretty much all from Privy. All of our buyers were from Privy. Um,
Mm.
our market research, knowing our buy prices, knowing the market, being able to quickly analyze numbers and analyze deals and comp came from Privy. So, yeah, I mean, I would say without
So
Privy,
20 sounds great. What does that mean in like revenue?
uh,
I'm curious,
I
like
think it's
revenue wise, what that means.
a little over 130,000.
130,000 in 3 months.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous. But exciting. And so this, what that does is that will dispel any sort of myth that there are not deals on the MLS. There certainly are, but you're not going to find a deal on the MLS in Wyoming, right? Because the data that's there that will help you prove that a deal is a deal are those renovated comparables, which is why we chose this hot investor activity area in the first place. You want to be very strategic about which area you target. So if you target a high investor activity area, you got flips. Well, guess what happens? The house next to the flip that's unrenovated becomes a deal.
Yep.
As long as it's priced right and they're not crazy,
Yep.
right? And they're basing it off of what the as-is condition is, and that's part of the game of what we do. But the data will get you to a place where you can find more of those, and that'll help save you time and have you be laser focused on the right areas. So you're not wasting time in those areas on the map which had smaller circles or no circles, and you can focus on the big circles with the high numbers.
That's it. And then like one step further too, like, because when you start looking for properties, there's a whole lot of information that comes in. So you could be like, like I see a house, it looks like a deal, but like, how do I know if the numbers make sense quickly without having to call these agents? So what we started to do is now we soft vet everything in Privy before we call that agent. And so what soft vetting does is before we started soft vetting properties, our average difference from list price was $140,000. So our offer would be on average $140,000 off of list price. Now that we soft vet, our average difference from list price is about $80,000. So we have a better chance. So now we're not only are we just calling listings, we're calling listings where the numbers most likely make sense. So when we speak to that agent, we have more of a chance of our offer getting accepted.
And less of a chance of offending somebody or getting someone's feelings hurt or feeling weird about submitting an offer that's just so low. Right? We all hear about people lowballing offers, and this is why doing on-market deals has a bad name. It's because most wholesalers that tried that approach didn't use this method, and so they just went into their market and just started lowballing offers, and they were basing their offers off of, okay, all the houses around here, well, there's no renovated houses, so I have to offer some ridiculously low offer to make the numbers work. Never had a chance of being accepted, and now that's what everybody in the area thinks that wholesalers do. Lowball offers that have no chance of being accepted. And again, that is what was given wholesalers a bad name, is not really doing the market research and not understanding what a deal is.
Yep.
John, we got so many questions on this soft vetting. I think we need to pass it over to you and give the people what they want.
Let's do it. Let me get
So John, do you want to drive or do you want me to drive?
I could drive because I'm going to show, so I have.
Let's let John drive.
It's easier to show the calculator. Okay. So I built a calculator for it because I have my VA do this now. I don't do this anymore myself.
Okay, I will stop the share.
Yeah, John, go ahead and add your screen and I'll throw it up there. But we got a lot of people that would love to come up here, John, and do a role play with you or do a call with you. So we'll open that up in a second, guys.
All right, beautiful. All right, so this is my soft vet calculator. And I'll explain it real quick. But let me open up Privy. Oh, wait, I have it bookmarked.
And Benson, do we have a little discount for our viewers tonight?
We do. We absolutely do. So we have a promo code. It's DAMG5. That is the promo code. Emily's going to put the link in the chat there. And what we're going to do is we actually have a special going through just the end of the month. So if you go to the end of the month, I'm going to do a couple different things. The first thing is I'm going to do a discount. So if you get on, well, there's 2 plans. We've got monthly. You can get on monthly, and we'll take 20% off your first month. That one will give you some extra tools. We've got a deal analysis calculator that's also going to get you access to my mastermind that I do twice per week.
Nice.
Okay, you can't get that from the website. The other thing is if you're an action taker and you really want to dig in and get into the weeds with me, then I'm going to give you my course that I built that shows you exactly the steps that I use to go and start doing deals in the St. Louis market virtually. It's broken up into modules. That course I used to sell for $1,500, but now I am building it into a bonus. I'm gonna give you that for free, and my small group coaching calls that I do weekly.
Wow.
So 52 weeks of those coaching calls. It also includes a bunch of other bonuses. We've got a list of hedge funds. We got a list of private money lenders. We've got a buyer's list that I've already pre-vetted and is pre-skip trace. It's got over 5,000 buyers on it, and all of that for $814. So you just use the promo code DAMG5.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So
now, you guys, if that scares you a little bit, it's okay. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so do it. And then if you end up, having an issue with the software, then you can just cancel and you get your money back.
All right, John.
Awesome.
All right. So when I find a property, like you could look, I like using the search bar instead of just like clicking on this stuff because it's easier to see the property.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say I find a property and I'm like, you know what? I want to call this. But first I want to see if this is a deal. How do I soft vet the property? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the pictures, make sure, yeah, look, it needs some work, right? I don't think this. Then I'll go to comparables. And what I like to do, because sometimes this box will cross major roads or sometimes it'll go out of the subdivision. So you could always just click this pencil and I'll just quickly draw a random circle over here. So I don't have any properties that's like taking up my space or my view. So I could really see where I want to keep my circle in. And then I'll go ahead and like read, right? And then all these comps pop up. So when I solve that, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my subject properties like information right around here. So my square footage is 1368. My lot size is 5,400. My year build is 1971. Okay. So what this top part does is this automatically adds 250 because per appraisal rules, you want to stay within 250 square feet. Lot size automatically adds 2,500. And this automatically adds 10 years of build generation. So it kind of gives me a quick, or my VA, a quick idea of I don't want to find houses over this square footage, over this lot size, or newer than this year. So it's just a quick analysis of what I want to look for. Then I put the days on market. How many days on market is this thing? It has 5 days on market. All right, so I'll put 5, and then I'll put the list price. The list price is $320,000. 320, 1, 2, 3. And now in holiday, I could get away with locking up something at like 60%. So I'll put 0.6. And this gives me an ARV range. So now let me explain what this thing's actually doing. So when I started soft vetting, I started thinking, okay, well, if I'm going to lock up a property at, X price, how far below list price can I really be depending on the days on market? I've seen properties that have been less than 10 days get locked up 50K below list price. I know I have a good chance of getting a property that is 50K below list price accepted, right? So what I started doing was, if I know 5 days on market, my difference, and like I built this out with a bunch of formulas. So my difference automatically goes to $50,000 based on the days on market. So if I know the house is listed at 320,000, I could probably get an offer at $270,000 or above accepted. A really good chance of getting that offer accepted. But how do I know what my offer is going to be if I don't know my ARV? So if I know I base my offers as a multiple of an ARV, and I know I can lock up a cosmetic property at 60%, that means I need to see an ARV of at least $450,000, because 450,000 times 0.6 is $270,000, right? So if my ARV is like 425, then my offer is going to be 255, and I might be too low. So that's why this is telling me I need to see an ARV of like $450,000. Now, I'll quickly, using these columns, so 16, 18, 79, and 1981. Now, I'll come down to here, and I'm soft vetting. I'm not comping. So I'm not looking at the house. I'm not doing any of that. All I'm quickly doing is I'm filtering out by price, and I'm just quickly going down from the highest prices. Like if I need 450, the highest sale is $320,000 right here. 1299, 1974. It just sold recently, right? But if this is 320 and I'm listed at 320, is this going to be a deal? Am I going to have a chance of getting this accepted? No, because if ARV is telling me it's 320 right now, that's the highest sale in a subdivision. I'm going to need to be at least 60% off list price. And this thing was just listed, right? So let's just show you what the calculator does. So I'll put in the comp square footage, which is $1,299. I'll put in the comp sale price, which is $320. And I'll put in the comp sale date, which was 3/14/2023. Right? Now, the reason why I built this calculator is so my VA could do this and understand soft vetting without me actually explaining to her numbers and all this good stuff. So it does it for her essentially. Now, I'll just keep going down the line. Let's just say ARV had to be at like $312,000, right? Just to keep this example going. I'll go down the line and I'll keep looking. All right, 73 sold recently, 54, 1443. Yeah, I could use this. It's right around here. And I could probably use this one. I could use the 3 highest sales. So if I put this in here, right, and the sale price, let's just make it $295,000. And let's just say this sold 12, 20, 22. And then this one was, let's just call it 980 square feet, sold at 300, 1, 2, 3. And it sold 3/15/23. Now, right here, my average difference from list price is going to be $142,000. I'm only 5 days. I'm not going to want to call this. However, it's not telling me to pass on the property altogether. It's just saying this thing needs longer days on market. Because if this thing goes up in 90 days and it's still listed, I might have a good chance of getting 142K. I've seen an offer at 150K below list price get accepted. So that's kind of where I max it out. And yeah, and that's what I do. But so this thing is a big if statement. So if the property makes sense, like let's just say this was 590, this was 420, and this was, let's just keep it at 395. My average difference is $45,000, less than 50. It's telling me to add to the CRM and call that agent. Now, if this,
it just changes to green right out of the gates there.
yeah, it's a concatenated if statement. So like now, let's just say this was 20,000. My average is over 150. It's telling me it did not pass off vet, so I'm not going to call on this property. So I pass.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So that's how I saw that. But the gist of it is, I see the list price, I see the days on market, and I think, okay, well, like let's say I'm 35 days on market. I could probably get an offer at 90K, 85K below list price accepted. I'll do list price minus the difference that I come up with. That gives me where my offer will have to be to get accepted, at least. Divide that by my county percentage. And then that'll give me where my ARV range has to be. So then I'll just quickly go down here, find out if this makes sense. And if I'm within that range or somewhere near it, I'll add it to an Excel sheet, and I'll just soft vet through all the properties I need to, and then I'll import it and I'll call all of those agents because I know I have a good chance of getting any of those properties accepted. But I don't comp. So the thing is, I'm not looking at the pictures. I'm not getting bogged down in too much of the details. I just want to see real quickly, a very quick, and it should take you about like 2 minutes per property to soft vet. Real quickly, do the numbers make somewhat of sense? If they do, I'll call the agent. If they don't, I'm not. And if it needs longer days on market, then I just add it to my list. It needs longer days on market. And every 15 days, my VA will soft vet those properties again to see if they make sense now, given the new higher days on market. And that's how I soft vet to see if it makes sense.
Wow. So how many properties can you analyze in a day doing that process?
My VA, I mean, she could easily do over 100. But that's what she's doing by herself, right? When I was doing it, I usually did it on a Sunday, or I did it early in the morning on Monday, not during my work hours, or at night. So like I would soft vet not during work hours, and I would try to get a list of at least 25 agents to call the next morning, 25 listings to call the next morning, at least. Sometimes on Sunday.
So you're doing the soft vetting outside work hours, so you can spend your time on the phone during work hours when everybody else is awake.
Exactly.
Nice.
So and Al, I have a YouTube 3-part YouTube series with Jamil discussing Privy, how I use it, my Privy process from A to B, not just soft vetting. And video 3 is on the soft vetting process. It's a little more in depth. And video 1 shows me how I navigate through Privy, how I create the lists for it. Because I have my Privy is almost a CRM. Like if you see this right here, lists, this is like my CRM. This is where I keep track of all my properties, my market research, the properties that need to be soft vetted, yada, yada, yada. And I go through all of that on the video series as well. So
I just shared those videos in the chat for you guys.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, I could. Oh wait, no, it's right here.
Yeah, John, if you want to send me that link, I'll email out all that link to all of our Privy users once we get off of this to share the soft calculator.
Yes, I shared it in the private chat with you, so you have that.
Perfect.
So yeah, and also what that will do is every Monday, in order to provide value. So with that link that Emily's going to send you, you'll get onto the newsletter that I've made for SnapFlip, and every Monday I come out with a poll. So it's a poll that I give you a list of topics or tools that we have to share, and whichever one is voted for the most on Thursday, we'll send out the email. Either we'll send you out that tool or we'll send you out a video on that. Like today's or tomorrow's email is on how my company SnapFlip, tags our buyers in Go High Level to filter out buyers specifically for specific properties.
All righty. Benson, you're muted.
Let's get some people on here.
You're actually giving your calculator away, John?
Oh yeah.
Like the same one you're using.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
I even have a comping calculator too, which it's like the same outline kind of, but it's specifically for comping. It's mostly geared towards Florida, but I pretty much just took Jamil's appraisal rules from a PDF and I just put them into an Excel sheet and made it nice and clean.
That is slick.
Alrighty, guys.
So you come across a property that looks good, right?
Yeah.
I think you're getting to, Emily, is like, and you want to call them. What does that call sound like? What does it look like?
Should we bring somebody up here?
Yeah, I think that. Did you have somebody in mind, Emily?
Okay. I'm gonna drop the link for you guys to come backstage. So if you want to come up and do some role play, or John can help you walk you through a call with an agent, go ahead and come backstage and we'll pick someone to come up. So you have to have your camera on and your mic on, or else I'm not gonna bring you up. So, but yeah, this is exciting. This is one of our first times doing this. This will be a lot of fun.
Shannon, come on the call. We'll do a role play together of how to talk to agents. And I know you had a question about my VA. My VA, she does the soft vetting process. She'll then, once she's done soft vetting, she'll then compile the list of agents from that soft vet, and then she'll tell my acquisitions lead, hey, it's ready to go. And then he'll import that into the CRM and he'll just call. So he doesn't even look for leads. She does. And then when she's done, she'll just go ahead and do market research for me. So she'll go ahead, do all the market research. So she's just all in Privy. My one VA, one of my 4 VAs, she's just strictly just doing Privy for market research and finding deals.
Wow.
All right, we got Parker backstage. Parker, you want to come up?
Sure.
For market research and finding deals. What's going on, Parker?
What's up,
I put on my
Parker?
headphones
Parker,
for this
you
to work.
wanna come up?
Sure.
Oh yeah, go ahead and exit out your YouTube tab.
What's up,
I put on my
Parker?
headphones for the. Sorry.
There
about
we
that.
go.
So should I be wearing headphones for this?
No,
you're
I hear you loud
fine.
and clear.
All right. I'm just making sure. I'm in a college dorm.
I was
Just
about
so
to
you
say,
guys
it looks like I know those walls. That looks
know.
like
Yeah.
Or prison.
Yeah. It's kind of like a prison. I'm just waiting. Good thing my roommate's not in here. That'd be a little disturbing, but I'm here to learn.
What market are you in?
I am currently trying to do the Florida market. I did just try to do a wholesale deal recently, but unfortunately I had to back out because the inspection period ended and I couldn't find a buyer on time.
How'd you cancel?
I canceled because like within the inspection period.
No,
period.
I mean, like when you called the agent, like did you cancel by calling the agent or did you cancel by texting the agent?
I called her. It was a little bad, but she already had a buyer backed up just in case if anything were to go down. But I did reach out to her saying that she was okay with sending me more deals before they pop up on the market for the future.
Beautiful, perfect. So you canceled that correctly. So now you call a lot of agents, right? How do you feel on the phones with the agents? What do you feel like you're struggling with on those phone calls?
On the phone calls with the agents, like when it comes to like getting the property under contract, I feel like I'm a lot better with that because like I do use a calculator that's kind of similar to yours. It is a little bit more detail. I did get it from Jamil, and I also looked at Jerry Norton's videos before. So it kind of like combined both their strategies and tried analyzing the comps and everything like that.
Got it. Okay. So you want to do a role play of an agent call? I'll be an agent.
Sure.
All right. Emily, do you want to share your screen or to pull up a property so people could see like what property?
Can you do it? Because I'm not
Yeah, I
logged
can do
into
it.
Privy.
I can do it. Let me open up my Privy again real quick.
How long have you been wholesaling, Parker?
I first started doing this 2 years ago, but I was like, honestly, it was like all new to me. I just had an interest in real estate. I just tried to find different ways to do it, especially since I didn't become a real estate agent. So I went down this route. I used to be terrible at calling the agents, but then I read some scripts and I warmed myself up. And the last call that I just did with like the most recent deal that I had to back out on, the way I got it under contract, I actually didn't use a script at all.
Nice.
That's the best script. No script.
Right?
Yeah, it made things a lot easier. So I had to like look at the screen over here if I had a script like on the other side.
It makes it more natural. So like when I was calling agents, because honestly now I don't really call agents anymore because I have my my act just calling all the agents for me.
Yeah.
So what I usually looked at was I would look at when I get a property, I would look at the property. I would see, has there been a price cut? I would see how long has it been listed. I would read through the overview to see if they told me anything that I needed to know or not. Like if it said roof is 2020, HVAC is 2015, yada yada yada. I'd see what information they gave me so I don't ask that information again and look like I didn't look into the property at all. And then I'd see if it went pending before. If it went pending before, then I got to find out why it fell through.
Yeah,
So
the
that's
first
kind of
one
how
I had did have it pending before, like it was listed on sale again, and then I called and yeah, I guess it just worked out that way.
All right, sweet. So let's call on this property. Clearly is a house that needs some work, and I'll be an agent. Now I'm not going to be. I won't be like a super nice agent because
All right.
the nicer agents are easier to deal with. So I want to see how you navigate it. Just make believe the overview didn't say anything about like the age of anything. I mean, as you could tell by the house, like I'm sure it's not a new roof. It might be.
It was like a
not.
gut job to me.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready.
All right. I don't know how to do this role play thing. Ring.
Hello.
Hello. Is this Mr. John?
Yeah. Who's this?
My name is Parker. I was just calling to take a look at one of your properties that you have listed on the MLS that I'm looking on Zillow. It's on 48 Longview Way North in Palm Coast.
Yeah. How can I help you?
Yeah, I just wanted you to like tell me more details about the property. It looks very interesting to me, and I noticed it's a little bit of a gut. But is there any like details that you have about the property that I should know about?
Yeah. So this was the previous owner bought this as a lot and started to build the house, and they kind of just ran out of money. Hence why it looks like it was in pre-renovations, and now they're just selling everything. The permits are there too, so you could build up. You don't have to worry about permitting it. So the price is just to reflect, the as-is value.
So whether it was just to go into this property like the way it is right now and just do a gut repair, or if I wanted to tear it down, if the numbers made sense, I could do either one because the permits are all good.
I mean, I probably want to tear it down since it's already a new build. But I mean, if you want to tear it down and rebuild it again, yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I would take a look at like some of the properties that are nearby and see like what kind of like looks alike, and then go from there.
Okay, so I mean, do you have like an offer on this one right now?
Just looking through some of the pictures. This is outside the role play. I'm trying to look it up on Zillow so I can just look at more pictures of the property.
It's a shell. It's a complete shell.
All right. So yeah, this property looks like it needs like a lot of work. So yeah, you weren't kidding about the part that it's kind of like they ditched like during construction. So
yeah, they just completely ran out of money. They didn't really budget correctly, but they're pretty married to list price. I think it makes sense at list. So if you're gonna lowball me, I don't really want to waste any time here.
All right. Is there anything that like needs like more repairs on the inside? Like other than the fact that it is obviously a gut job, is there anything like the water lines connected? And
water's connected. Yeah, utilities are there. But as you can tell by the pictures, it needs like literally everything else.
All right. And this looks like it's a pretty big property. This is a three bedroom, 2 bathroom, and it looks like it's over 2,000 square feet. So this would probably cost a little bit to repair. If I were to like try to estimate this real quick, I would try to for a gut. Yeah, you're looking at a little over 6 figures to repair the rest of this place.
Right. Which is why they're selling, because they don't have that.
Is there any properties within the area that have been sold for like pretty high values that look like this property here?
Are you an investor or an agent?
I'm an investor.
I mean, if you're an investor, you could kind of figure that out yourself, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I would just look through some more properties and see like what's near like around the same zip code, like the same subdivision in Palm Coast, and see if there's any like properties that have been sold for like this house could look like even though it's still a gut, the way it looks right now and see how big it is, it could possibly be sold for like around $1 million if I were to guess here. So let's just try putting that down.
I just want to, this contract can't be assignable. You're not a wholesaler, are you?
No. Like if you're asking if I assign contracts to buyers sometimes, then yes, I will be honest with you. I either do that, I could fix and flip the property, or if the numbers made sense, if it was like a really nice area for rentals, then I would buy and hold this property. I'm an investor that could go like in any route.
Got it. All right. Well, is there if you don't have an offer right now, is there anything else you need?
If there's anything else that you could tell me about the property, then by all means. But
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ready? Super simple. It needs everything. It's got new concrete, and it's got a new roof and new windows. Everything else it needs. It's about it.
So despite like all them taking out during construction, the foundation's still stable. All the concrete's like nothing.
It's a new build. Yep, it's brand new build. They started building this 2 months ago.
All right. Well, yeah. It'll probably take me like around an hour to analyze this real quick. So I'll take a look at some of the properties nearby, and then I'll reach out to you.
Hey, I'm actually getting another call. I'll call me back. Just send me an offer, and let's see if we can do something.
All right, that sounds good.
All right.
Thanks for your time, John.
So I ended it because what happened there was it was a lot of you talking and not a lot of me talking.
Yeah.
Right. So quickly, would just call them up and ask them about the property. Like, okay, this thing is a full gut. It looks like they started building this. Is there a reason why they stopped renovating the property? Or, yeah, they ran out of money, blah, blah, blah. Okay, beautiful. Now the roof, I'm assuming the roof is brand new, but it looks like there's some shingles hanging off from the pictures. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Is there any issues with that? Was there some storm damage, or, and just start like asking questions like that. Right. And then let them tell the story. Okay, beautiful. All right. Somebody wants us to switch roles. You want to switch roles? You want to be the agent?
I'm not sure if I would be the best at that part.
No worries. But one thing I did want to say was when he asked you if you had an offer, I wouldn't have started estimating rehab on there. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have said, I don't have an offer right now. I actually wanted to call to make sure that I would actually get in touch with somebody on this property. And I needed some more information to do my due diligence. So I'm going to analyze this as soon as we're done with this call, and I'll be able to have an offer for you either later today or tomorrow morning. Depends really how long. But, right now, is there any offers? Like, I know it's only been 6 days. Is there any offers right now your seller's kind of entertaining? Yeah, we got a lot of offers. We got, we got one like right around list price, but yeah, nothing that they've accepted. Oh, around list price. Is there a reason why they haven't accepted it yet? Yeah, I mean, it's only 6 days. They're trying to, see if they can get over list. Gotcha. Okay, that's great to know. If it's not over list, probably don't bother, right? You just have that conversation and let them splurge some stuff to you.
Yeah, what led to like the deal that I was going to do in Tampa, like I said, I was going to be doing in the Florida market. The one I unfortunately backed out on, it was in Tampa. I called a few agents down there before it ended up being on that call and getting that thing under contract. The thing that I did, I tried asking like similar questions to that and like letting them tell me more about the property. And then that conversation kind of led to more like them telling me their story as an agent or building rapport with them. And with that, before I went to this agent for that Tampa deal, I was able to get 3 more contacts, and I built rapport with them. And now they're like, if they had any more deals before it pops on the market, then they could send me them so they could close quickly if I was like wholesaling the property. So
yeah. And like if you get on a phone and an agent starts telling you nothing about the property and just telling you your life, it's fine. But if you notice the calls over 10 minutes, what I liked to do was I'd be like, oh, hey, Meredith, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually have title calling me on another deal that we have closing. I got to take this. I'm going to look at this. I'll send you my offer and we'll be in touch later today or tomorrow morning. All right. All right. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And then you just hang up.
All right.
They're going to understand.
Hey, John, let's do a call. Let's do a call with another property. Yeah.
All right.
You be the wholesaler.
All right.
I'll be the agent.
All right, Parker. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Good
you
job,
so much,
Parker.
Parker. And if you get anything else in Florida, send it to me if you're still here.
Carlos, do you want to come up and do a call with us? All right, we got Carlos. He'll be our last one. We'll close it out after this. Carlos, you want to unmute yourself?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. How you doing,
Awesome.
Carlos?
What's up, Carlos?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm in the DFW area. So
Cool.
a little bit about me. I mean, I've been wholesaling for about a year. In the first 6 months where I actually took action and everything, I closed about 20 deals. So, I mean, I was pretty excited of myself. And, you know, I'm still over here trying to grasp everything since I'm like pretty new at this. So, I guess, you know, reaching out to sellers, well, owners kind of wasn't my thing. So I went to Jamil's way and started talking to agents, and that went pretty, you know, way better than I thought that it would be. Now I have like 20 agents giving me, you know, their pocket listings every day. I have 5 that I currently have to review. And so, you know, it's been an awesome idea that, you know, talking to these agents and building rapport and, you know, letting them know, you know, what I do and things like that, you know, it gets you, you know, deals coming in without them, you know, putting it on the market and trying to find deals that way too. But, you know, it works out both ways.
Good job, man.
Let's go, man. Congrats.
Congrats on
awesome.
your success.
Appreciate you.
So we're going to do one with John, and he's going to just do his magic here, and I'll be the agent. I can't see here. Let me just see. This is I'm Julie. Looks like I'm Julie.
Yeah, you're Julie. So
All right.
before I wouldn't rush into calling Julie. I would see it's been 9 days, no price cuts, obviously. Handyman special. It doesn't tell me anything about the age of the items or anything like that. I want to see if it went pending before. No, didn't go pending. Again, 9 days. But if it was an older one, I would see did it go pending or not. Benson, let's pretend this one went pending. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna call you on for new, whatever. All right, ready?
Yep.
Ring, ring. Hello?
Hi, this is Julie. How can I help you?
Hey, Julie. My name is John. I was calling you about your listing on 25 for New Lane.
Oh yeah, that's my list. I'm actually co-listing it. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was really interested in this property. First thing that caught my eye was the all that stuff that's in the kitchen. So I just wanted to get some more information on this so I could run some numbers and give you an offer.
Cool. What questions do you have?
Yeah, so I read through the property remarks. I didn't see anything about like the age of the major items, like the roof, HVAC, water heater, electrical. Do you happen to know those ages?
You know, I don't know specifically, but I think everything's original.
Original. Okay, so 1996. I'm gonna have to replace everything, I guess. Now the photos that I'm seeing, I know it was newly listed. This is what the property looks like currently, right? Like it's almost like a little bit of a hoarder situation. It looks like.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. It was it's there's a family and their mother passed away, and so they're just trying to kind of figure out what to do with it.
So
Nobody really is interested. There's not like the family is just kind of spread apart across the country. No one's really taking the lead on. So I just I was called in by one of the family members to help list it, but it is what it is. Like you're gonna have to take it as is. We're
all right.
not cleaning the
Yeah.
property out.
I love buying houses as is. I don't look for those retail ones. I like ones that look like this and something that's a little bit dated, you know, kind of like a time capsule with like the pink bathtub and the green carpet and all that stuff. Now, you said the mom passed away. Is this currently going through probate or does it have to go through probate?
I do not think that there was a will in place. It's possible there will be a probate. I don't have all the information in that, but I do know that it's currently listed, and we have the you know the eldest son kind of like taking over on this one. So honestly, I talk to a different child every single day. Everybody wants to know who's going to get the money.
How many children are there?
There's 6.
Ooh, do they get along?
Well, there's one problem child, the youngest.
Okay.
She's a millennial.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm really gonna have to know before I can even move forward with this, I'm gonna have to know if they even started probate. Because if not, or if they don't even have a probate attorney, then I could kind of help with that because I know a few. I've dealt with a couple of probates before, and I'm even willing to lock this up while it goes through probate. But as long as we're able to get that, figured out, then that's no problem. Now I see it's been 9 days, but I did see it went pending after day 2, and it fell through 3 days later. Is there a reason? Like, did something come up on the inspection report, or did the buyer just just fall through?
It was some stupid wholesaler that locked it up and didn't really have a plan for it. So, we're just kind of over that. We thought we would give this wholesaler a chance to bring in their buyer who supposedly had cash. It just didn't work out. So we're just looking for a solid buyer who's got cash and is ready to close on this thing.
All right, beautiful. Are there currently any offers on the property right now?
We've got a lot of interest.
Okay, interest, but no offers, right?
We have some in the works. They're not in my email inbox just yet, but we've been told by several people that there are offers on the way.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll run some numbers on this. I'll come up with where I think it needs to be for it to make sense. I just want to confirm though, there's no I'm not going to run into like a reverse mortgage situation of like $185,000, right? Where there's like literally no room for this. Or do you know anything about the mortgage information?
Well, I mean, if you give us asking price, it'll easily pay off the mortgage.
Beautiful. If I could do asking price, I'll do asking price. But I got to see where the resale value is first before I could give you an offer.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you want to do your research and let us know. But I got to tell you, you got a short window here. We do have some interest. And so if you're interested, I would say you probably have to have something in here by the end of day.
Oh, beautiful. I move quickly. I'll probably give you something within 2 hours. Now, before I go and run some numbers on this, do you have anything else that's in like a similar condition or maybe even a little better or a little worse that I could also look at?
Not at the moment, but we get listings all the time. We've got a whole office that comes across properties like this. We've been around for 50 years. And, the managing broker is just really tied into the community, and we get all kinds of listings. So yes, the answer is we do come across properties from time to time. Honestly, this one we almost didn't list. We almost just gonna give this to one of our local investors, but we had one child that was insistent on putting it on the MLS and getting the maximum amount for it.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I would love to be added to your list to see these properties before they get listed. I typically prefer off market, but I do buy on. And yeah, I'm going to run some numbers on this. I'll get back to you, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Send me an offer.
Oh, you bet you. Take care.
Cool.
See, I even stumbled at the end, but if you mess up your words, just keep going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But so
yeah,
you see how,
it's fine. I mean, well,
Benson did
99% of that was solid.
Yeah, Benson did a lot of the talking, right? I just asked some questions and he just gave me the whole story. And then when he started telling the story, that's where most of my other questions stemmed from. He said mom passed away. Oh, is that in probate? Yeah, the children. Oh, how many children? Oh, 6. Damn, did they get along? No, probably going to be a pain in the ass. Did they start probate? I'm not sure yet. Well, do they have an attorney? You want to find this stuff out, because if you send an offer and they don't have probate started, which could take between 30 to 90 days or even 6 months sometimes, depending on where you are, you might not be able to sell this yet. So I had one where I locked up on probate and I found that out, and I just put $100 EMD and I told them that's why, and I was fine to lock it up throughout a probate. So those are questions you want to have like a guideline of where you want to go, but you don't want to just be stuck on a script the whole time to where you don't hear what they're saying and then pivot the conversation another way. You know what I mean? And now, Sharita, you mean how to make an offer like on the phone to the agent? But right now we have Carlos on, and I know we're running over time. So
there was a breakup there. Is that just me, Emily, or are you seeing that too with John?
I think that's you.
Okay.
So we have Carlos on here. Let's have Carlos call and speak to an agent who or me on Farragut. Let's just pretend it's a piece of poop.
Okay, awesome.
Am I breaking up?
Well,
No.
you guys were both breaking up here and there, but I mean,
Everything's good
All
on
right.
my end.
All right, so Carlos, just so you know, we're in an HOA and the roof is 10 years old. Let's just make believe you read the description.
okay.
All right. All right.
Are you the agent and I'm the wholesaler, or am I the agent?
Yeah. I'm the agent.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, this is Julie again.
Is it really? I gotta call
Yeah.
Julie.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, John. Is this John?
No, this is actually Julie.
Oh, hey, Julie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, so I was looking at one of your listings that you have over there on 32 Farragut Drive.
Yeah, oh man, I've been getting so many calls on this property. Are you a wholesaler?
No, I'm actually an investor.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was looking at your property here, and I mean, it looks, in pretty decent shape. I mean, what can you tell me about it? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it just the sellers they're trying to move. They're relocating to Baltimore. So they're just trying to sell this house so they could use that to put it on a down payment in their place in Baltimore.
Okay, nice, awesome. So, I mean, I see the roof is 10 years old. I mean, it isn't an HOA. I mean, what's the HOA fee around there?
It's about $200 a month, and it usually covers like lawn maintenance, garbage removal, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, awesome. I mean, besides the roof, I mean, is there any foundation issues? The HVAC, water heater, how old are those items? I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so there's no foundation issues. There's no sinkhole, and the other items I'm not really sure about the HVAC or the water heater. I would have to check my notes. I believe they're each 2006, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Hey, not a problem. Awesome. I just wanted to find out, see if you had any information on those items. So, I mean, have you had any interest on this? I mean, any offers on the table yet? I mean, it looks like it's been on the market.
I mean, yeah, we're only 10 days on market. I've gotten so many calls. I got calls from wholesalers. It's like now all of a sudden everybody's trying to invest in Florida. But nobody wants to present a serious offer. I don't get it.
Right.
So we have one offer. It's not where we want to be at. So nothing that we're entertaining. Bring me an offer close to list price and it's yours.
Okay, awesome. I mean, what is listed at right now? What was the seller that wanted that price, or was it you that you kind of were like, okay, let's put it at 269 and see what we get?
Both. It's based on comps and what the seller needs.
Okay. I mean, if this thing was all fixed up, I mean, what do you guys think potentially it will sell for after it's all, fixed up and everything? Did you look at something like that?
Yeah, we're thinking it'll sell for probably around like 485.
Okay, that's a decent number there.
I mean, it makes sense. If it didn't make sense, I wouldn't have listed at that price,
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years. Like, I've been around the block before, so like I'm pretty good at listing properties.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'll run my numbers. I mean, and see what we get. I mean, I'll get a couple of my contractors over and see if we can schedule a showing. I mean, is there a possibility you can schedule a showing for me?
Yeah. When would you like to see it?
I mean, maybe we can go this Friday to go take a look at it around 4 p.m. if that sounds good.
The seller works till 5. So let's do 6 o'clock. Does that work?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll actually get with my contractor, see if that's okay with him as well, so we can both go and look and see, what the actual damage is on this property. Because I mean, photos can be deceiving. I mean, is this what the photos are there? Is that how it actually looks like now, or is that like
Yeah,
pictures before they moved in?
That was taken 10 days ago.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll do my due diligence, see what we can get, and check the area around and see what numbers we come in as, and we'll submit an offer there.
I'll tell you right now, if you're below 240, don't even bother.
Okay, no, I mean that's absolutely awesome. I mean, I think that if 240 is where we have to be, I mean, we'll look at it and we'll run our numbers, and hopefully we can make something happen.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd love to.
Awesome. All right. Besides
Now,
this
do you
property,
have an agent? Do you have an agent representing you?
no, I'm actually coming in unrepresented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if there's a possibility, I mean, can you write the offer for me? Maybe you can get the other 3% for the buyers, or the seller can save those 3% in their pocket.
No, I'll take the 3%.
Awesome. I mean, that works. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a call. I'll shoot you my number and my email address, and hopefully we can work something out on this one, and we'll kind of be in touch.
Perfect. How? Just quick question though. How many properties have you flipped? In the last couple of months.
I flipped about 3 properties in the last couple 4 months. In the last 4 months, I can say. But I mean, I'm an investor, so I do this in a couple other states. So I'm not just so much focused just here, but things that are interest here, the companies that I collaborate here in Florida kind of are eager to find another property for them to kind of flip. So this is where I'm at now.
Awesome. Would you be okay if this goes well? Can I list this on the resale? Because that's what I do with a lot of my investors. They give me the listing after they flip it.
Yeah, I think that should be a potential, for you can put it back on the market. So, you can sell it. I would just have to talk with my team and see what they think. As long as, the numbers work, and, and you can help us out on, the front end, it wouldn't be a problem for you selling it on the back end.
Beautiful. Let's get it done.
Awesome. All righty. What was your name again?
Julie.
All right, Julie. Awesome. I mean, besides this property, do you have any other listings that you have or that are going to come up here in the near future?
I mean, I got one right now. It's a same days on market. It's, it was a new build, but they ran out of money. It's pretty much just cement and a roof and windows. I'm not sure if that's something you're interested in.
I mean, I'll take a look at it. I mean, if, the numbers look great on it as well, and everything seems about right, I mean, we can probably save a different time for a chat for this property, and hopefully let's work right now on this one first, and then if this one works out, we'll hop in on that other one that you have that's on the market for another time.
Sounds good to me. Let's make it happen.
I appreciate you, Julie. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Perfect. Look at that.
Julie played hardball.
Yeah, Julie always plays hardball. Julie got a lot of calls on that one. But
yeah.
Dude, that was great, man. I mean, any objection I threw at you, you had an answer for it, and it's like you had one quickly. I mean, you even are offering to walk the property before, so that made you credible in my eyes. And now I'm not saying that everybody go walk a property before. I mean, if you maybe can, then do it, sure. But yeah, everything you did was great. Yeah, Julie hasn't shaved in a while. But I mean, dude, that was fantastic. You're nice, natural on the phone. You kept answering my questions, my objections, and you didn't freeze up when I said, "Are you a wholesaler? Don't bother offering if it's this price." Yada yada yada. So that was great.
Yeah. I mean, it took some time. I mean, I didn't go off a script or nothing. It's just when I was getting the knowledge and everything and understanding of how to even talk to somebody, it all comes natural. You gotta, just pound yourself on that phone and expect what these agents or, these owners are, asking you. And that's when just everything just flows. As long as, you let them do the talking and, you information just comes and you're like, okay, I already got that. So let's just, get into the nitty gritty stuff and let's get down to, what they're asking for.
Yeah, so, man. Like if you just have talking points, not a script, like major things you got to hit, then it doesn't matter how it flows. You know what I mean? You just have to let it flow naturally and then make sure you hit those really quick. And no, I personally don't say I'm a wholesaler. If they say, do you wholesale properties? I say I'm an investor. I like to make money. I like to fix and flip. I like to buy and hold. But if it doesn't make sense for me, yeah, I will wholesale. Have I wholesaled before? Of course. I'm an investor. I like to make money. But
Yeah,
would you care if I close on the contract? No, as long as you close, that's fine with me. Perfect. Then we have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and I mean, there's other times where they always ask me when it's the agent. They'll be like, "Why is it and/or assignees?" And I'll be like, "Oh, well, we still got when we submit what and my name and/or assignees." They ask me, "Are you a wholesaler?" And be like, "No, well, when it says and/or assignees is I want to assign it to a specific LLC where which one what's the exit strategy for this? Is this going to be like a buy and hold? Is this going to be a fix and flip? So we got to have that and/or assignee so we know which name of our company are we going to assign it to, so when we do all the taxes and everything, it would kind of make sense for us. So that's basically something where we get around the and/or assignees or entity or things like that. But that's basically something where you can get around where they won't think that you're actually a wholesaler. Well, basically you are, but they won't ask too much questions.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Carlos.
Appreciate you guys.
How can people work with you in the DFW market?
Well, you guys can reach me, I think, on Facebook, Carlos MF Herrera.
Cool.
So, I mean, just I'll put all my link in descriptions on the YouTube channel, and they can reach me out there.
Awesome. Thank you, Carlos.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Wow, guys, we went over like 20 minutes, but that was so worth it. That was really fun. Thank you, John, and thank you, Benson.
Thank you. And listen, I know you guys are going to start doing this a while. And if I come back on next time, what we could do is we could spend more time doing role plays with everybody.
Yeah.
And I'll bounce back with Benson. I'll be an agent, and I'll be a wholesaler. Then you guys could come on, and especially newer people, come on and have your first call. Mess up with us. Make the mistake. I'll be tougher than some of the other agents, especially if I know it's your first time. So you get that scary call out of the way. And then, and guys, somebody just asked a question about if they would have asked me for addresses of properties I flipped. You could do 3 things. You could ask one of your buyers if you have a good relationship with them for some addresses that they flipped. You could, if you have a good relationship with Keegley or somebody else, you could ask for some of their addresses of properties that they flipped, or just some investor that that's flipped and ask for their addresses. Or 3, you could just be honest and be like, have you flipped in the past few months? Not in Florida. I'm actually new to this market. I really like the activity in this, so I'm looking to, take down about 5 a month. I did a couple of stuff in California and Texas, but nothing in Florida before. And just tell them that you haven't, or just straight up say, no, I'm actually looking for my first flip. Can you be the first agent that gives me my first flip, and I'll always remember you?
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
I like that. Say that again, John, what you just said.
No, I'm actually looking for my first flip. Will you be the first agent that gives me my first flip, and I'll always remember you?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's just really good.
Whoever comes naturally to you guys. Again, they're people. That's it. At the end of the day, they're people. Emily could be an agent, right? Would you be scared asking Emily questions about a property? Why do we get scared of talking to agents? And again, at the end of the day, guys, I say this all the time. We're buyers. We're not sellers. Don't sell yourself to the agent. Have them sell to you. You're a buyer at the end of the day. Okay? When you start selling yourself, that's when you exude that desperation, and then that's when agents could really start taking advantage of you. Just think, when you speak to your buyers on the phone, when you sell a wholesale deal, are they selling to you or are you selling to them? You want to be that same mentality as your buyers when you sell a wholesale deal.
Dang, John is preaching tonight, guys. That was good. That was beautiful.
I appreciate
Amazing.
you.
I just want to go over one more thing.
I appreciate those guys stepping up. That was awesome. Getting up here. I mean, that's how you get out of your comfort zone, you guys. That's how you put yourself in uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable situations, and put yourself to the test. Like, just props to those people that wanted to get up, even the ones that didn't get up on stage. Like, volunteering is a big step. Good job.
Yeah. We do have a gift for all of you who are here tonight. Benson, if you want to go over one more time for people who join later, what they get with code DAMG5.
Yes, you guys. So we're doing an end of month special right now. And so what John just went through was amazing. I actually documented the process that I took to start doing deals in the St. Louis market and turned it into a whole course. And that does include the weekly coaching calls that I do every single week in a small group fashion. And those are actually different than my weekly mastermind calls that I do twice a week. So you get 3 live calls per week when you sign up for Privy. If you go on the monthly plan, we're going to give you 20% off your first month. If you go on the annual plan, you're going to get the bundle with the course, the buyers list that's got over 5,000 people on it, my hedge fund list, my private money lender list. It's got a bunch of other really cool things, but all of that for $814, 30-day money back guarantee. Just sign up here within the next day or two before the end of the month, and you'll get all of that. We rarely do anything even close to that. Oh, and by the way, I want to let you guys know that we just brought on a brand new girl. She's a sweetheart, but I'm making her look bad because she wants to change all of our pricing. And so within a matter of, it could be weeks, I don't know when they're going to do it. They're going to change our whole pricing structure. So if you come on with that price I gave you, you're going to be grandfathered in. But once Brittany does change our pricing, the way we sell Privy now is going to be gone. You're not going to have the whole country. You're not going to get access to all the new data sets. You're not going to have the new features as they come out. We're going to be actually upselling those things. So because every little thing has its own value. So
Oh, wow.
grandfather pricing as well.
Wow, guys. So I would take advantage of this now because we don't know what that will look like moving forward. So get grandfathered in. But Benson, one more thing. What if they already have Privy? Can they upgrade to the annual with this code and get all those the goodies?
I'm glad you mentioned that, Emily. You're so smart, and you help me stay organized too, which is great. So yeah, if you're already a Privy user and you're on the monthly plan, just go into your Privy, go down into billing, and then you go in there and put the promo code DAMG5 in there, and it will upgrade you, and it will only charge you the difference. So if you just paid your monthly yesterday, then it'll be $814 minus $97, and that's what you'll pay.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
John, you had something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, Privy, like, it works. Good for buyers if you're trying to focus on micro flipping or just being a dispo, or if you're looking for agent deals, and even get pocket listings from agents you connect with. So there's a lot you could do, and know your market. Like, I know my ARV percentage because of Privy, as well as speaking to my buyers as well that I got from Privy. So
beautiful.
It works.
Alrighty, guys, I'm going to let John and Benson get on with their night. Thank you so much for staying over and just dedicating all your time to the community. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
we will see you guys back here in 2 Wednesdays. Benson and I will be back on. We'll probably have someone else, but we'll have John back in rotation. So we'll see you guys in 2 Wednesdays, same place, same time.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.